The making of Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy stands as one of the most ambitious and immersive film productions in cinematic history. Shot across the stunning and varied landscapes of New Zealand, the movies demanded actors to navigate everything from epic battle sequences to breathtaking natural environments. For actor Sean Bean, who portrayed the noble yet tragic warrior Boromir in the series, one particular challenge proved more daunting than any sword fight or dramatic monologue: riding in helicopters. Now 66, Bean recently reflected on those experiences in a conversation alongside his co-star Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn. The discussion, tied to the 25th anniversary of the release of The Fellowship of the Ring, which premiered on December 19, 2001, delved into the behind-the-scenes realities of filming in such remote and rugged locations. Mortensen, aged 67, joined Bean in reminiscing about the frequent use of helicopters to transport the cast and crew to high-altitude shooting sites, places that would have been nearly inaccessible otherwise. Bean openly admitted that during that period of his life, he harbored a significant fear of flying, particularly in helicopters. The machine's unpredictable movements, combined with the challenging wind conditions in New Zealand's mountains, made those rides especially nerve-wracking for him. Mortensen recalled a specific early incident during production that set the tone for Bean's aversion. They were filming a pivotal scene high up on a glacier, where Boromir faces intense temptation by the ring. The location was remote and elevated, requiring a helicopter journey that lasted about 40 minutes. That first trip proved harrowing. The aircraft encountered strong downdrafts, causing it to drop suddenly multiple times during the flight. Bean gripped the seats tightly, his face pale with fear. Afterward, he confided in Mortensen that he had already needed medication just to board a plane from England to New Zealand for the shoot. He declared that he would not be getting back into a helicopter again, no matter what the schedule required. Mortensen remembered thinking to himself that this could pose a real problem, given how many scenes in the trilogy demanded aerial access to mountainous terrain. Yet Bean found a determined solution. The very next day, another crucial sequence was scheduled on a mountain near Queenstown. Rather than risk another chopper ride, Bean announced he would wake up at 2 a.m. and hike the entire distance on foot. True to his word, he set out in the early hours, dressed in full costume as Boromir, complete with armor, cloak and gear, and began the arduous trek upward. The effort was monumental, requiring hours of climbing in the dark and cold, navigating steep paths while carrying the weight of the costume. Remarkably, Bean arrived at the location roughly at the same time as the rest of the crew who had flown in. Mortensen noted with admiration that while Bean made it on schedule, the physical toll left him noticeably exhausted. Still, the actor brushed it off, viewing the ordeal as part of the grand adventure that defined the entire production. Bean described the hiking experience as an extension of the film's spirit, full of unexpected challenges, camaraderie, and a sense of the extraordinary. He emphasized that the journey was not just about the script, the battles, or the visual effects. It encompassed the real-life escapades, friendships, and personal trials shared among the cast and crew. Nothing in his long career had quite compared to the unique atmosphere of working on those films. The conversation also turned to one of the trilogy's most emotional moments: Boromir's death scene in The Fellowship of the Ring. In it, Boromir, after succumbing to the ring's influence and attempting to take it from Frodo, redeems himself by defending Merry and Pippin from orcs. Mortally wounded, he shares a poignant final exchange with Aragorn, acknowledging him as the true king and finding peace in his last breaths. Mortensen described it as potentially his favorite scene in the entire trilogy, praising its simplicity and humanity. No special effects, no fantastical creatures, just two men connecting deeply despite their earlier conflicts. Their shared heritage as men of Gondor bridged the gap that had previously divided them, creating a moment of profound reconciliation. Bean's character arc ends in that first film with a brief ghostly appearance in The Two Towers, but his portrayal left a lasting impact. Known for playing characters who often meet dramatic ends, including Ned Stark in Game of Thrones, Bean once shared in an interview that he had begun turning down roles where his character was destined to die, finding the pattern too predictable. Yet the Boromir sequence remains a highlight for fans and co-stars alike, a testament to the emotional depth the actors brought to Tolkien's world.